People ask me what they can expect in the first month of my term as president. Well, I want to give you a sneak preview. First, we need to take special powers for a short period of time, which are fully transparent and accountable to the people through citizens' committees. But we have to take extraordinary powers because the Congress, the executive, and the court system, and the judicial system, all the way through the Supreme Court, is so completely corrupt that it's incapable of governance. Under these extraordinary powers, the first thing we have to do is to root out the decay which has been brought on by the financialization of the entire economy, and particularly the enormous concentration of wealth, or fake wealth, in the hands of a small number of billionaires. So the first step there would be to arrest most of those who call themselves billionaires, starting with major players like Bill Gates, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos, Miriam Adelson, and others. I could go on at some length. Not only will they be arrested, but because of their criminal actions, their profoundly deadly and destructive criminal actions, supporting and benefiting from the 9/11 false flag attacks, which were coordinated. All of them were involved. The endless wars that enriched them, and the creation of a totalitarian, technocratic governmental system from 2001 on, which created these billionaires, the corrupt counterfeiting of money through the Federal Reserve using the Department of the Treasury, which they were all engaged in, and finally their role in the COVID-19 reign of terror, which killed tens of millions and crippled hundreds of millions around the world, and did enormous damage to ordinary working people in the United States and elsewhere. All these crimes are going to have to come out of their pocket. That means all of their assets will be confiscated, and beyond that, the multinational investment banks, private equity that back these criminal activities will have their assets seized as well. This will give us a nice cushion to help make the transition in the U.S. economy. Much of that money will go back to ordinary citizens. But we'll go much further than that. We need to deflate this entire hyped up fake economy, whether it's in these cryptocurrencies or these fake derivatives or the hedge funds, or for that matter, the inflated stock market. All that has to be brought down to earth. Now, you may be thinking that you, as an ordinary American, have money in the stock market and you will lose something because of this. Now, I think we can pretty much assure you that from the redistribution of the money which is taken from all those billionaires who are engaged in all these criminal activities, there will be more than enough money to compensate ordinary people, that's, say, people with under an income of $80,000 a year, for their losses. And for that matter, those above that will also be covered to a certain degree because the concentration of wealth is so great. Beyond this, in terms of direction, we're going to come back to science. No more fantastic AI technology of fake images and fake ideas trying to use AI and the internet, YouTube, to dumb down the American population. We will also come back to the humanities. Basic values, whether it's virtue, frugality, honesty, and humility, will be the guiding principles for establishing what really is of value. This obsession with the material, with the visual, which has been created, a fake culture of consumption inducing narcissism will come to an end. Moreover, we're going to have a total restructuring of the whole military, intelligence, security, police, ICE, Homeland Security structure. I can't get into all the details of it here, but I'll start out by saying there will be no profit in it. All of the investment banks, multinational corporations, and especially Israeli firms, but also other firms as well, who are making a fortune off of defense, so-called defense, and homeland security, are going to be out of this game. Moreover, the corrupt activities that they've been involved in, whether it's been their false flag operations, their targeting of individuals for all forms of torture and harassment, these will be treated as they should, as felony crimes, and with the consequences that these people will be put in jail, and their assets and their companies' assets will be seized, not for the benefit of other companies or banks, but to bring them back to the people themselves. Moreover, we're going to have to go back and look at education for ordinary people, which is real education. Not fake education to get a job, but real education about how to be human, how to rise in a moral sense, how to think scientifically about the world, to be self-aware and not to be manipulated by outside forces. In addition to this, we're going to have to get rid of this whole commercial, advertising, public relations cancer that has taken over the American body politic. This cancer has to be excised immediately. We can't have our children or our citizens watching images of rich people on TV, which are meant to make them envious of rich people instead of contemptuous of them. We can't have images in the internet to try and encourage people to eat sweet food, to do self-indulgent activities, because this is corrupting the minds and souls of people. We have rather to empower people, ordinary citizens, to be creative, to go back to writing poetry, making, drawing, painting paintings, putting on musicals or plays locally, and to bring it all back down. No more of this Apple content imported from overseas or who knows where that you have to pay for to buy creativities, but rather the ordinary citizen in her or his neighborhood engaged in creative activities. This has to be combined with a revision of the entire concept of economics, which has been force-fed to us for the last 50 years, especially the last 30 years. That is to say, that consumption is not a virtue. Growth is not necessary for a healthy society. If we're assuming that people have to be wasteful, to buy things they don't need from abroad in order to have a good economy, then that's not a good economy and it's not a good system. It should be local manufacturing, make chairs, tables, clothes, tables that last 60 years, clothes that last 30 years, houses that last 200 years, and make that a virtuous thing to do. Grow as much food as possible in your local community. And most importantly, keep the money in your community. We cannot have our citizens buying at local stores like Walmart, in which a large part of the money is being siphoned off by multinational corporations that have no stake in your local community. We want mom and pop shops, or smaller, that are really about local economy, where the money that's taken in goes to local producers, whether it's clothing, furniture, or food, and the money keeps circulating to create jobs there. Now, there's a lot more that I'd love to talk with you about the first 100 days of my administration and what direction we want to go. But I want to stop here and say that I'm open, welcome your suggestions as to what we need to do. I think you can tell from the way I'm phrasing this that I am coming back to the essence of the American experiment in a democratic republic. And that is, of course, the Declaration of Independence. And the Declaration of Independence empowers us, the Declaration of Independence, which defines what the United States of America is, empowers us as citizens to overthrow any tyranny which has taken over our country without due process and in a corrupt and tyrannical manner. So we are empowered to go forward in precisely the manner that I described. We have to keep checks so that it doesn't spin out of control, so it's not manipulated by the powerful elite hiding under some sort of disguise. But I think it is certainly possible to do that if we put together our best and brightest, and most importantly, if we say to all citizens that you have within yourself the full capacity to imagine a new society, a new country, and you are not dependent on what you're fed by search engines or social media or pundits or celebrities or whatever. The beginning of the United States, of this new era for our country, is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you, as Tolstoy said so aptly. And we welcome you to join us in creating something with our own hands, which severs the ties to global finance, to private equity, to the billionaires who have made up money and taken over our country in the most brutal and cruel way. Thank you again, and I look forward to continuing this conversation.